Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's Zoo to You. My name is Katie, and I'm an educator here at the Stone Zoo, and we have a very special part 2 to our Zoo to You for you this week, where we are going to be giving, I guess gibbing works too, giving our gibbon family some of the enrichment items that we made for them during last week's Zoo to You, which are some delicious gibbon-friendly cakes. So if you have any questions about enrichment or our gibbon family here at the zoo, please feel free to ask them in the chat. You might notice that right now there are no gibbons in this exhibit. I'm going to radio my cooking co-chef, zookeeper Bridget, and she is waiting for us behind the scenes, getting ready to let our gibbon family out so we can watch them enjoying these tasty cakes that we made them. Katie to zookeeper Bridget, we're all set for the gibbons to come out on exhibit. And we're going to watch them come out and enjoy their treats. So you can see the back of their exhibit. There is a large building. That is their indoor space. So our gibbons can go in there at nighttime or during very cold weather, or when our zookeepers are in their exhibit space cleaning away. So right up front here, we have Mom Iggy, who is our tan gibbon, and True, who is just around 3 years old, and they are enjoying this very tasty cake that was made for them. And let's see who else we can see. The glare might be a little strong. We've got some bright sun here today, but it looks like over to the side, Gian, who is the older brother, is also enjoying some of those tasty, scared away by Mom, some of those tasty orange slices. So Bridget, you're back from being behind the scenes. Can you tell us a little bit about what are in these cakes that you have made for them?
I sure can, Katie. So today we have a base of their leaf eater chow that they get every single day. It's been soaked in some dilute apple juice to make a nice cake. For the frosting, we have some banana pureed with honey, and for the topping you can see some orange slices as well as some sunflower seeds. The gibbons really enjoy seeds. They like to pick them apart and eat them. They really like fruit. You can see them enjoying their orange slices. That's a nice treat. They don't get too much of it because it's a little bit acidic for them, but they really do enjoy it.
So Bridget, last week we talked a lot about making enrichment for our animals. Can we talk a little bit about gibbon enrichment and what types of enrichment that our gibbon family really seems to enjoy?
We sure can. So here at the zoo, when we're taking care of animals, we want to think about what types of behaviors they would be doing in the wild. Gibbons tend to forage for their fruit, so we'll put their food in puzzle feeders. We'll sprinkle worms or seeds around the exhibit. They'll have to go find them. They'll have to work out how to get their stuff. You can see in the background there's a nice bamboo thicket. They can forage through the bamboo to find what they want to find. Anything that we have, that's Kian style. Kian style is just straight up eating frosting from the cake with his face. Iggy is a finger frostinger. She's a finger almost anything. She doesn't like to drink water from a lick-it. She will just put her fingers on the lick-it and get some water on her fingers, and then she'll drink her water from her fingers. Different stuff like that. We want to change the types of textures they experience. Anything that can keep their mind active. These guys are very, very smart. If you give them a mirror, they will not be interested. They have some sort of self-awareness. They know that the monkey in the mirror is in fact them. If you give the colobus monkeys, I'm sorry, someone's going to say it. They're not monkeys, they're apes. If you give the colobus monkeys a mirror, they for sure do not know that that monkey in the mirror is them, and they are very concerned about who in fact it is. So that will give them hours of entertainment.
Now, I just want to draw attention right now to Iggy's cake eating
Oh,
method,
yeah.
which is very interesting.
It sure is. She's an
looks
interesting gal.
Looks like we're doing some digging for the primate biscuit base.
You can see that they enjoy it, which is
Yeah.
great. It has all of the nutrients that they need, so it's ideal. A lot of the animals here get some sort of biscuit to just fill in for the nutrients that they need, and not all of them like it. Sometimes it's a real pain to get some of them to try to eat it, but oh boy, do they enjoy that. Look at those fingers. Look at those long, alien-like fingers with so much cake on them.
No.
Oh. True was being cute, but he was just out of time.
Now, while we're talking about food, would you be able to speak a little bit about their food preferences as individuals? Have you noticed any preferences among the gibbons?
Not really. I mean, Iggy's preference is to eat all of the food if she can. Same. Yep. So she's definitely our most dominant individual in this group setting. So we want to make sure that we put all of the good stuff all around the exhibit. We cut it up really fine so that everyone has multiple chances to find and eat something good, and it's not just all going to Iggy. They all enjoy pretty much the same things. Fruits. Oh, that's very cute over there. They enjoy seeds. There was one year that we gave them sugar-free Jell-O. None of them ate it except for Kian. Kian had quite the day with some decent amount of sugar-free Jell-O, and he was the only one that partook.
I have also noticed, what I find very interesting, is that Kian loves banana peels and not so much the inside of the fruit.
Do you mean not so much because you've seen him reject the inside of the fruit, or just that he is desperate enough to eat the peels?
Just that he goes for the peels that Iggy kind of leaves behind.
Yeah, so Iggy, like I said, is dominant. She gets a lot of the good stuff, and then the others will kind of opt for secondary good stuff because they're not as quick as her necessarily, and she also has some pretty serious teeth that she likes to show off to them to tell them to back off. She's in charge.
We did get a question in the chat, and Bridget, I'm going to aim this question at you.
Sure.
Marianne wants to know, is Iggy expecting?
She shouldn't be. Iggy is on birth control, so we do manage their breeding through birth control. The gibbons are part of what's called an SSP, or a species survival plan, and that entails a group of people who have access to the genetics of the gibbon population, as well as the space availability and group dynamics, and they make recommendations on whether we should go forward and try to have more babies or not have more babies. And Kian and Iggy's genes are so well represented in their population that they are not currently being asked to breed.
Now, I want to speak a little bit about species survival plans and why they are so important in zoos and aquariums. White-cheeked gibbons are a species that is critically endangered. That means that their species is in imminent threat of becoming extinct out in their natural range, and that's why it's so important that we do have them in zoos and aquariums and as part of these managed breeding programs. So if something does happen in their natural environment, we still have animals in zoos. They are not gone forever, and one day when their habitat is ready and can sustain these animals and keep them healthy, we have animals that we could put back out into those natural habitats. Some really exciting species survival plan programs that we participate in here at Stone Zoo are our Mexican gray wolf species survival plan and our whooping crane species survival plan, where we are actually helping actively put individuals of those species back out in their natural habitats, which is just so exciting and is what, all of us as zoo professionals really hope for and we want to see more of in the future is just more habitats ready to sustain these animals. Now we'll give it another minute if any other questions come through in the chat, but in the meantime we can just watch some family grazing activities. It does look a little bit of drama here. So if you live in a family at home, maybe you've got some siblings, you might also have a little bit of sibling rivalry over the tastiest treats. I know that my brother Dan and I sure had that sibling rivalry growing up. And in order for me to protect my favorite foods, mainly leftover pizza, I would hide them in the refrigerator so he couldn't have any. So the gibbons sometimes might, hide some of the food in the bamboo of their exhibit so the others can't find it quite as easily. I also know that the Arctic foxes here at the zoo will bury their food and hide it from each other so they can make sure that they are getting the tastiest treats for themselves. Well, I don't see any other questions coming through, but I want to thank everyone for joining us today as we learn a little bit more about our gibbon family and the importance of enrichment. Lexi, if you want to zoom on out so you can see us with our hats part 2. We made these. You bet we will be wearing them in more Zoo to Use in the future. Thank you all so much for joining us today, and make sure to tune in for our next Zoo to You. Bye!